They recently had women and the youth elections. Look at what happened after the elections. Even during the elections, we saw the footage. You showed it on your screens. It was disgraceful to our democracy. And even after the elections, and the results have been known, we heard about all these accusations and counter-accusations. Accusations that even political opponents like NPP has not made. And you had one person took part in the elections accusing national officers of the party of corruption and amassing wealth, unexplained wealth, and building mansions and all of that as a result of internal elections, where the elections have been completed and the results known. You still have this strife going on. According to Samuel Kujato, President Mahama had to step in to limit these accusations and counter-accusations. Even members of parliament were accused. And they also then responded with and issued their own threats. You saw all of them. Oh? Oh, because you didn't see them. I'm asking you. So we've been treated to a lot of turmoil in the elections, and I believe that there's no need taking pot shots. There's the need to sit down and review the internal processes so that it fosters unity and common purpose. And it doesn't foster strife that we are seeing or that we've seen in the parties. And then after that, you then have to spend a lot of effort to bring people together. And you see, when you attack personalities in your own party, it takes a long time for it to go away. When they see you, you've been talked to, and when they see you, they will laugh. But I can tell you, it goes deep. People don't take those things lightly at all. And then you see to the run-up of the national elections itself, where the country is being treated to a situation where the sitting general secretary throwing major accusations against his opponent, the sitting national chairman. Samuel Kujato says that these things are a result of, they say they are releasing steam. He says they are releasing steam and it's all due to excitement. But Sammy, this is not steam. When you want to release steam, you go and bring a big sound system and have a party and drink Takai or something. You don't go and meet party people and throw major accusations against your opponents like that. And so you have the situation where the General Secretary is telling Ghana, the Ghanaians, that the electoral, the petition that the NDC took to the Supreme Court in 2021, that has had so many repercussions on the judiciary, on our democracy and all of that, that the NDC didn't have any case at all. That right from the beginning, they didn't have a case. That if you are challenging an election, what you do is that you say, I'm disputing the results because the results I have are different. That's the basic validation that you need to go and challenge an election at the Supreme Court. The General Secretary saying that we didn't have that. And we didn't have that because it was the failure of the national chairman. He was in charge of the process of getting the validation that we needed. And the chairman failed. So you had a situation where the lawyer said that it's best that we use inconsistencies in the declarations itself. So he said he went to court. He didn't have a single sheet of paper, electoral material, to help his case in disputing the elections. And that he was coming to look at the results as declared by the Electoral Commission. And then he was given a calculator to look at the results declared and do his own calculation. They said that one of the results, the totals were more than 100%. One of the results, nobody got 50 plus 1. You were here, Kwesi. And so those were the issues that they had come on. And so he was given a calculator to prove those inconsistencies that he was saying, that the totals were more than 100%, that the figures published showed that nobody got 50 plus 0.1. And then when he was given the calculator and calculated, he couldn't prove anything. You know, that led to Uli calculator. You remember? Kwesi, you remember? So the whole country was baffled that
I think that's a picture on the screen.
The whole country was baffled that how is it possible that a whole political party like the NDC can actually go to the Supreme Court without any documents? Because you had agents in every single polling station. And those agents would have copies of the results declaration forms that allows you to do your own tabulation. So was it possible that a whole party, like the NDC, in a serious venture of asking the Supreme Court of Ghana to overturn election results, would actually go to the court without a single sheet of electoral paper? And that what they said was that there were inconsistencies in the declaration. We were baffled. And then Asiedu Nketia has told us that yes, indeed, that is the case. That they actually went to court without a single sheet of paper. And when they asked him, he told the truth, that I didn't come here with any results. But the reason why he's telling us all of this today is that he says all of this gross failure could be blamed on the national chairman. That's how come he's telling us this today. So Samuel Kujedo says that it's a letting of steam. Let's see where the steam will end. I hope that they will go to the Congress this weekend. That they will try as much as possible to have a peaceful Congress, peaceful election. We won't see the turmoil that attended on last weekend's women and children, women and youth elections, and that this will go peacefully, and that the rivalry between the, particularly for the chairmanship position, will not translate into something that none of us will be proud of. So I wish them well, let them go in, and I hope that the best person would win. But my last point on this, you know, the NDC is having a conference where everybody, they are bringing, how many delegates are you bringing together? Sammy?
No, it's huge. It's more than 3,000, I think. You see, I'll check the exact number.
So let's say...
We'll get the details, but I think at our last count, there should be around...
Yes. Now, the NPP too does the same, where we bring nearly 5,000 people to a central point. That practice alone has its difficulties. When you come to the NPP presidential primaries, those primaries are done constituency-based. So people don't need to travel from, you know, all over the country to a central point. It's got huge organizational demands. Transportation for 5,000, 6,000 people, accommodation for 5,000 people, feeding for 5,000 people, places of convenience. I mean, it's such a huge organizational nightmare and very costly.
So ours is 10,936.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So look at it.
It's huge.
Look at the organizational cost of transporting 10,000 people from all over the country to Accra for a day's event, maybe a day and a half. NPP does the same for our national elections. We bring all the delegates to a central point. And I suspect the two parties should seriously be looking at what is done in the presidential primaries, where it is decentralized and people vote in their constituencies. And all this huge organizational nightmare is avoided. The presidential one is easier. It's not even easier. It's the same because you have about 5-6 candidates, and you must have 5-6 ballot boxes in each constituency. Mm-hmm. And the national delegates, maybe you have more ballot boxes, a few more ballot boxes per constituency. So if there are 3 people vying for each position, and there are 8 positions, you're probably going to look at maybe 24 or 20 ballot boxes for each constituency. But it allows, and there will be an average of maybe 300 people per constituency. They are voting in a local area. All of them will congregate their usual meeting place, or they rent a big hall. And it's easier. And so both parties should be looking at that.